Hey YouTube, it is time to check back in with our favorite Middle East up-and-coming player, Dark. If there's any player who has the highest chance of having some exciting 1v1 replays, it's got to be this guy. The way he plays can be so entertaining. So we've got two replays of him today. One against RRX 100 and one against a player named Will. If you haven't watched Dark before, maybe this is a first opportunity tuning into him. First off, I'm surprised, but he is a pioneer of mechanics is kind of a way to put it. He's been having a tough time stringing together all elite top wins. He's gotten some very impressive wins before, but he also catches losses against some of the top 100 players. But one thing that he definitely does and can't really be argued against is he zap dashes multiple times, these quick landing wave dashes, is he is pushing the boundaries of mechanics in the game and inspiring the top players to put more into what they're doing. Now, the biggest thing that he does is pogos, but you can also see him doing dashes at a level that not a lot of other players are matching right now. So it's always interesting to check back in and see where Dark is at. Has he come up with something crazy that we haven't been ready for? One of the things, as I didn't mention it yet, but is worth noting right now, and I think it's always really relevant for 1v1, but you never know. Oh, nice read off the backboard. Maybe we'll see a day where it becomes relevant in 2s and 3s a bit more, but that is that fake kickoff that is so convincing. Talking about pogos, and a lot of people who are really focused on pogos have been able to come close to matching Dark's ability. I don't know if I could say they fully matched. Probably the only people who are really close are the freestylers, who are constantly practicing that, you know, with almost no exception, or just basically entertaining shots with no exception. But the fake kickoffs is something that I have not seen anybody match as convincing as Dark does. Lots of people do fake kickoffs, but I almost feel like his are in a bit of a league of his own. You're going to see him take a full field dribble here as he resets in the back corner. A little pinch on the ceiling. Oh, not a pinch, but like a sandwich on the ceiling where he got his reset with. He's going to try again. Why not just start it up? Not the best setup off the wall. Coming off the ceiling. That was actually a bit risky, but it pays off for Dark to not jump at all, because if his opponent has the angle on net, then he's just letting a goal go in. But he must have had the read. There was no angle there. Best of all, go off the back wall for a 4-3 lead. Gonna take to the opposite corner this time. Maybe this will be better. Interesting wall dash start, ceiling reset. Gonna get back to the ball in time. He's gonna still lob it on target as a way to mitigate the damage from his missed attempts. Look at these power slides around. I mean, unfortunately, it seems like it's gonna get him scored on, but he does stay in front of the ball. And now he's still in the lead. The movement that this guy has, even in the mundane things, you know, a little bit of it is stylish, a little bit of it is just freestyling, but I think it's freestylers throughout the course of Rocket League who have, you know, been responsible. That's a good shot from RRX 100, I think it is. But freestylers have been responsible for developing mechanics, and, you know, everyone sees the freestylers hit them and think that's not relevant to the competitive game. You'd never be able to set that up. Next thing you know, people are finding ways to make it useful, extremely useful even. So maybe one day, the way Dark was power sliding back in defense is something we'll see. But he's definitely focusing on the dashes. You can tell that the dashes are something that he really is wanting to work on here. And I don't know what this fake kickoff for RRX was, but Dark he didn't even really need to slot his chip onto net. He was trying to match Dark in his very impressive fake kickoff, and these are his favorite. But he gets the ball to roll directly at him. The single jump into the wave dash to counterattack. Wasn't able to bait RRX out. He's looking for a demo attempt, I think, expecting RRX to drive up the wall into the corner. And he's wall dashing his way out of the play and wall dashing his way back to surprise his defender. And he's going to slam RRX in instead of actually scoring the goal. But this is what I'm talking about. This is the really interesting movement that he's taking back to net Right now, it seems casual. Seems like he's almost trolling. I remember there was, I mean, not trolling, but just kind of having fun over maybe prioritizing getting back in time. But there's so many different advances that I think have started out that way. The one that's coming to mind for some reason was Daniel defending out of the inside wall of his net, which was something that I hadn't seen really anybody doing. And Daniel seemed like he was doing it almost as a troll. Like, why would you ever want to be there? At the time, no one was going there. And now it is a very common place to defend from in the correct scenarios. So somebody has to be willing to make a mistake in order to find what can actually be useful in the future. Dark right now up 6-4. Trying to see if he can get an opportunity to go up 7-4, and he does. He's going to demo RX. He's actually going to waste some time before backflipping in. Now a 3-goal lead with 37 seconds. What else can Dark do here on Utopia Coliseum? He's been getting beat by these wave dash kickoffs from RX, and great use of the win to the midfield boost. Turn it into a demo. He's going to go for an air dribble bump, or maybe just an air dribble, as he flies it over the top of Dark, and it's going to be on RX now to have a couple solid kickoffs, but Dark fakes even one. He might be able to stop it, and this time he goes straight for a standard and gets himself a goal. And I think a little bit of that probably comes off the back of the fact that he's been faking so much during the series. You don't notice it, but every single win can be a result of your kickoff collection as a whole throughout the game. And Dark is certainly one who knows how to vary up his collection. But we got one more game from him, so let's go check it out. Second game of Dark ranked. Diagonal kickoff, no surprise. A fake to start. Will is not going to let Dark get to his favorite position in that air dribble, though. Nice dive to keep it out. Dark's going to pinch this one up to the back wall, and now he's going to have to deal with a low boost scenario, and yeah, it's going to be tough. With 23 to eventually get his way out, he decided to try and go as aggressive as possible, challenge as early, look for that 50 in the corner, but it didn't go his way. Another fake kickoff into the wall to air dribble. Dark's on his game. This is unstoppable. Double reset pogo, but he launches it over the crossbar, and that does lead to a free roll-in. Will took his risk that Dark wasn't going to be able to hit it, which is, you know, if there's anybody who can hit it, it is him. But Will comes up 2-0. Immediate kickoff goal for Dark. I just tried to skip the replay. Too used to show matches. Knew the replay goal was about to come up and figured we didn't need to see the kickoff. Nice recovery demo from Will. Resets on 100. That flick is not it. Not if you're trying to get past a top player like Dark. Wall dashing to get back to this ball. Interesting wall dash went awry, or not a wall dash, basically like a zap dash on the ground that slid himself out of the way. Interesting movement in net, and see that kind of baits out an early shot from Will that he can recover to. It seems like a big risk, but at the end of the day, he's able to cover and maybe even end the possession for his opponent. Now he gets into a full field air dribble. Reset over the top of Will to tie the game. That is the Dark that we know and love, who is completely unpredictable. It's won another standard kickoff to the right, something that Will probably needs to take note of. But if you're Dark, you can continue to try and farm some free kickoff goals until Will adjusts. Not expect Will to get this high of an air dribble. He's able to collect boost off the corner. A great setup. Will beats him there. Will is doing a good job of preventing us from getting our exciting clips. He knows what Dark can do. Dark with some crazy camera movement as he's looking to check and see where Will is at while trying to stay in control of this high bouncing ball. Looked like he was looking for a bump on Will. Decided to fully retreat to his back corner. Slight reverse challenge is enough for Will to give out the ball, and here's the setups that Dark loves so very much. Looking for a double off the backboard. Did Will get a touch there? and make his double miss. I think he might have. Will very clearly doesn't want to start the same kind of dribble. Instead, move off the ground. Air dribble bump. Wow, full field from Will. 3-2 lead. Dark cannot score this kickoff again off the right wall. Maybe he was hoping for a tight angle miracle there. He has been very interested in keeping the ball speed up in this game. Nice catch. And he's going to go for the pogo shot. Will continues to not allow that. Dark, nice recovery. Using his momentum in reverse to go pick up a boost. That's a very interesting setup off the wall. The side hook shot to set it up is not something I see a lot of players do. Almost all players want to roll it up to start their dribble, but Dark feels confident just chipping it off that perfect curve of the wall in order to set up his start. He's going to come off the ceiling for this one. And even though it looks like Will just handed it over to him, got to give some credit to Dark, who likely put the fear in him by falling off the ceiling. Reset for Dark, and Will is completely starved the boost. We'll just watch it happen. It'll be a tie game. Dark's fake kickoff. Not able to get his normal single jump turn wave dash shot attempt. Oh, but the wall dash accelerates to this ball, and Will needed to clear it harder than that into his own corner if he wanted to get away with it. Wave dash kickoff for Will, unsuccessful as Dark's standard does enough to push the ball into the orange half. Dark seems to be on a mission to dash at every possible moment. Demo and a long shot, timed well. 5-3 lead with a minute left to go for Dark, as he extends in this ranked game, trying to show an exhibition of dashes and fake kickoffs. When we see a full field dribble, it's hard to start them at this ceiling height. He's never stopped Dark before. He wants to pogo. Will, once again, there to meet him as the ball comes to the ground. Able to get a fourth goal. Dark has finally lost one of these standard kickoffs. Will able to push it onto the left side of Dark's field. Will bringing this down to the ground. Dark's fake challenge did not result in any flinching from Will, and then the fake flick, low 50s. It's going to be a tie game. 24 seconds. Next goal very likely to be the decider. Kickoff so important. Dark able to adjust his kickoff, it seems, noticing Will had made his adjustment to losing them previously, and Dark played into it. Got a nice win off the left wall this time. 10 seconds left to go. Dark not able to snipe the opposite post. Every time he rides up onto a wall, he's dashing. This is a really poor first touch, I would say. He might have had a chance there to win at 0 seconds if he had lobbed it on target. Fake kickoff. Oh my goodness. The fake kickoffs have been working so well for Dark, and then he just gets punished right away. 2 seconds into overtime. Will had the read. I want to see if he's been just paying attention on these slight diagonals, or... Yeah, I mean, that one did look... I mean, it's obvious to say in retrospect, but it did look a bit less convincing. And then the ball warped around. That's pretty unfortunate if you're Dark, and that's what you saw on your screen. You could actually see the line warping around where Dark felt like he cleared it. But hey, perfect placement from Will. Dark not able to get this one, but still looking to be an exciting player with his dashing and pogoing in 1v1 ranked.